Hello traders, welcome to this channel once again. I came with another significant chart analysis for you for the week so you can use it as a conference. You make it as a conference to your own, whatever you're looking for in the market. But this particular pair I'm now analyzing to you guys is GBP So if you also trade GBP you can use it as a conference while you analyze your own, and then tomorrow we'll have to look on it and then we'll see what the market will give to us. Mind you, we are not market movers. You understand? So please, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please just kindly smash the subscription button and then you follow up for more, so that whenever I drop something very important, you can use it as your own confidence while you build your confidence in the market whenever you're trading, even without anybody. You understand? The best way to build your confidence in the market is when you analyze a chart on your own and then you have no one to ask, but then you believe in what you analyze and then you execute that particular trade. You understand? That is why we need to always be consistency in the market. So please kindly subscribe to the channel and then you follow up for more. So now, without wasting much time, let's dip into the market and see what the market has to give to us this week that is coming up for us. Now, this is GBP. So on this particular pair, I'm going to start analyzing this particular pair from the higher time frame, which is the monthly time frame. So when you go on the monthly time frame, you discover that this market, you can see that the market is a downtrend, clearly a downtrend. Please, I've already analyzed this market, so I have my drawing. I just came in to give you a clue of what I'm seeing in the market. So I won't waste so much time, you understand, drawing all this and all that. So please, you can just follow up. So from this monthly time frame, you can see that this market is a downtrend. The market is a downtrend. Let's see what the market gives to us. It's a downtrend. You understand? This market was clearly a downtrend. But at the moment, you can see that the market has broken this trend line, our downtrend trend line. So we can now consider this market now a bullish market at this point. But don't forget, this bullish will have a resistance here, significant resistance, which we are looking onto. That if this market could not break this resistance, the market could bounce back from here to start giving us our direction to our previous low, to our previous direction, which is bearish trend. You understand? So now let's clear this trend line from here. So like I always said, for you to know that the market is an uptrend or downtrend, you must first discover that the market is giving you a series of higher highs or higher lows. That's for an uptrend. For a downtrend, you can discover that the market is giving you a series of lower lows and lower highs, at least two. At least two. So from this point, you can see that. Look at what the market did. This is the low. This is the high. We have equal low from here. We have higher high. We have higher low, higher high. The market is back to this point, trying to give us a higher high. You understand? But don't forget, we have a resistance from this point. So now let's go back to 1 week, to a weekly time frame. So on this weekly time frame, you can now see the clear movement of this market on this weekly time frame. You see, this is a low, this is a high, this is a higher low, this is a higher high, this is equal low that was given to us here, this is a higher high, then market is back to this zone. So on this zone, I got a support from this point, which market rested on it, which is trying to give us a higher high up to this zone. So now this is where I got this support from here, from this previous high that was broken, that tend to support. So now, mind you, you may ask, why did the high turn to support? That's why did the resistance turn to support. If you have been following my channel for a while, we have what is called the pullbacks, the market, which is higher highs and higher lows. This is the one I told you about. The market, you must confirm the trend of the market. The market must give you at least minimum of higher highs and higher lows. You understand? So now, immediately when this market was pushing here, this was a high. Believe with me, this was a high. So immediately this market break this high, immediately this high was broken. This high, it has turned to low. So now you have to wait for this market to pull back to this previous high. You see? Then give you a higher high again. So this is exactly what is going on in this market. That's exactly what is going on in this market. Believe with me. So now, this is what we have here in this market. But you don't have to draw this line from this side because the market are rested on it already. So you have to draw it right from this point. You see? So now you might be wondering, where did this line come from? This line also comes from another higher high that was here, but the market has broken it and then retested. We can call it a retest. But now let's go to daily time frame and then see how it goes. This is the line I told you about. This is the line I was talking about. This is it. Market came back and then rested on it. But then it pushed up a little bit and then came back on this next support. Now it has gone back to this zone again. So now let's go ahead. Let's proceed. So on this daily time frame, you can see that the market has given us a trend line from here. We have two types of trend line. We have a bearish trend line and then we have a bullish trend line. But mind you, trend line is also serving as a support and resistance. In an uptrend, trend line is also serving as a resistance trend line. You understand? In a bearish trend line is serving as a support trend line. You understand? So at this point, we can now call this trend line as a resistance trend line. You understand? So this will give us, we'll make it as a point of conference. If each market has broken this trend line, then we'll now execute our market up to the next high. You understand? But mind you, when you dip down into this market, you can now see some level which you're going to execute this market before it gets to that trend line, and that will give you a sniper entry before getting to the trend line, so it can give you a good risk to reward. You understand? That is what exactly I'm talking about. So now let's go to 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame here, you can now see that when this market came back to this zone, to this support, the market did not really touch this support. The market did not really touches it, but then it pushed back. Why? Because the market was against the trend of the market. The market is a bullish trend, but this low, this pullback was not really volatile. You understand? So it could not really touch this particular zone of our interest here, where we would have executed our trade from here up to this zone. You understand? So the market could not really touch it. But mind you, at this point, when you now go on 1-hour time frame, let's go on 1-hour time frame. So on 1-hour time frame, you can see something that is going on common in this market. Now, whenever you're analyzing the market, just make sure you follow stages by stages, time frame by time frame, so you can know what exactly is going on in the market, right? So now, when you watch from this point, now when this market dropped back to this zone, you can see that the market gave us a high right from this zone. You understand? Which the high was broken. It came back to this trend line I'm talking about right from here. Now the market dropped back again, back to this zone. So now let me tell you exactly what is going on in this market. According to this higher highs which I have drawn from you guys, for you to know the trend of the market, that if this high is broken, it has turned to low. Now I want to make this clear to you so that you can understand what is going on exactly on this particular chart. And if you like the pattern of my trading, you can still work on it. It's very simple. I'm a simple retail trader. I work with mighty time frame, stages by stages. I follow the trend of the market. You can also refer to me as a support and resistance trader, or a demand and a support, depending on the language you want to use. You understand? So now when this market break this point, when it breaks it, we need the market to come back Gosh, why you doing like this? At this point, yeah. So let's get the shit done. So at this point now, you can see that according to what I'm saying, the market, if the market break this point, we have to wait for it to come back, right? And then give us a higher high. So this is exactly what happened here on this point. So now market doesn't just move like that. Market has to move with the waves, the higher highs and the higher lows, the lower highs and lower lows. So at this point, you can see that look at what this market, with this market break this point, they came to this high here. Now market started dipping. You see, it's giving us lower highs, lower lows. You understand? The market now came to this our neckline here, which it had from here. So now that market now push back to this zone. You see, when it push back to this zone, we need to wait for this market to come back to this point and then give us a higher high to this point and then give us a higher high. You see, but because of what happened in market, I think it was a fair share news that came out from the market. The market could not respect this zone. The market has to push back to this zone. Now, while pushing back to this zone, the market could not just started buying from this point. There was a support here, this previous low here. You see, that was broken up to this zone. This is where the market rested, and then the market started pushing up to this zone. So when the market pushes up to this zone, it's now rested on this trend line resistance that we had from here. So now we need to wait for this market to come back to this point again. When the market touches this point, and then we now skyrocket this market up to this zone. You see, up to that zone. So now you may ask, why did I target this zone? We have what is called risk to reward in the market. You may be using 1:2, 1:3 in the market, but though I don't depend much on that. I'm only concerned on the significant levels in the market which I'm targeting. So now when you go on 1 hour time frame, you can see that this is a high here. So definitely if this market could give me what I wish to get from the market from this point, this market needs to push back to this zone, you understand, to give me equal high at that point. So mind you, when the market, most of you may ask, so what if the market gets to this zone? How are we going to know that we are going to buy this market? That is why we have what is called chart pattern, price action in the market. So now what you have to do is for you to just wait for this market. And by the way, the market has been on the support. It has been on our confluence. We are on the confluence right now. So it's just for you to wait and see what price action that will be given to you at this point, so you can execute your market up to that level. So now we have what is called candlestick pattern, which is at this case I'll consider it a bullish engulfing candle at this point. But I don't really use candlestick pattern because candlestick is only telling you that 2 or 3 candles are going to be buying. You understand? But when you're talking about chart pattern is telling you the overall function of the market at the point which you're targeting. So we have 2 type of chart pattern in the market. We have the bearish, and then we have the bullish. So from the bullish, which is in this scenario, we have double bottom. You can also call it double bottom or equal lows. We have or some people do call it W pattern. We have what is called triple top, triple bottom at this point. We also have what is called inverse head and shoulder at this point. And then from the bearish, we have the head and the shoulder. We have triple top. We have M pattern or equal highs. You understand? So all you have to do is for you to wait for this market at this point and then see what the market will give to you. You don't rush the market. You only wait for the market to come to your confidence, to your zone of interest. So you see what the market can give to you while you execute. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. Market will definitely come to your zone as long as you're doing the right thing in the market. So this is my point of view on this particular chart, GBP USD. So please, if you like it, I don't know what pair you're always concerned about, but trust me, this is a very significant and very important conference for you to work on it in this particular pair this coming of this week. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go and subscribe to the channel. You can turn on the subscription, the notification button, so that whenever I drop something like this that is useful, you watch and then you make it a conference to you while you work on it in the market. Thank you so much. Do have a lovely week. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much.